Alright, chat. Today might be the finale. So, let's see what fucking happens. We are 18 hours basically into this chapter. This should be the finale of this chapter. So, let's see. It's 3 to 5 hours left. That's impossible. What? Bro, Higo hasn't had like a fucking 20 plus hour chapter in a fucking ever. 14, 19, 18, 7, 17, not 18.9. There's never been a chapter past 20 hours. Cause you read slow, bro? No, I fucking don't, bitch. It's Watanagashi time. Yo, hold up. I'm gonna fucking heat up some food. Down a lot, man. Stop calling me a fat ass yet. I haven't even eaten breakfast, fuckers. Alright. So this is my lunch, literally. Yeah, I remember you telling us about that.
でもどうしてだい？どうして僕と高野さんが殺されなきゃならないんだい？
あらあら、私たちが5年目のたたりに名前を連ねられるなんて名誉な話よ。
Okay, so they actively know they might be killed this time, so maybe they can avoid it? As I'd expect, they didn't really take me telling them that they'd be killed on the night of the festival seriously. They did keep their promise to tighten up my security after I showed them the ritual storehouse. However, they hadn't given one thought of their own safety. Bro, why are you streaming from a refrigerator? Shut your bitch ass up, Saint. I'm in Korea right now. I'm at an Airbnb. Although I'm flying back to America tomorrow, but yeah. When's the last time your bum ass has been to your motherland? Huh? I actually don't know if Saint even has family in Korea. He might be like actually like multi-generation Korea American. I don't know. However, they hadn't given one thought to their own safety. Oh well, like I said, I didn't expect them to believe me. If they were willing to take me seriously, I could have easily changed their fate a long time ago.
もう一度言いますです。富武は喉をかきむしって。高野はどこか遠くの山奥で焼かれて死にますです。
Maybe you ate his family fat? What the fuck? My estranged father is there, Fob? Can you meet up with him for me? What the hell? You don't have any other family in Korea though? Hate to say it.
それはレベル5の末期症状のことかい?
Hate to say it. You know, I'm pretty old. I am your estranged father. Yes, that's right. All those rumors of me being 65 years old, they were true. Okay.
大丈夫だよ。僕はちゃんと注射を受けてる。
Insane plot twist. Don't worry, okay.
そんなことはありえないよ。
私だってあんまりね。どこか遠くの山奥で焼死なんて失礼な話だわ。それがあなたの夢の中に出てきたというの？
今夜だけでもどうか気をつけてほしいのです。
Rika, I think they die anyways.
騙されたと思ってどうか僕の言うことを聞いてはくれませんですか？
I feel like the world is wrong if Tomitaki and Takano don't die, you know?
私たちの身に迫る何かというのも夢のお告げなのかしら。大丈夫よ。あなたの身辺は山犬がちゃんと警護しているわ。
Any other shocking revelations you want to share with the class? I'm not actually that old as a joke. If I was your son, I'd have already bought $1,000 in Rogaine, you bald fuck. Oh, shut the fuck up, bro. This motherfucker thinks his fucking goofy-ass, hat-wearing ass has good hair. Like, relax, man. Alright? Anybody with actual good hair wouldn't wear a hat that often. Okay? Take that shit off. You look like Brax. Fucking Brax wears his hat all the time. Alright? Like...
今日だって8人があなたの近辺を警護しているのよ。
Why are you copying his drip, man?
僕の警護は十分助かっています。ですから、高野たちも同じく用心してほしいのです。
I don't have a wig on. Shut up, chat.
ありがとう。大丈夫だよ。こう見えても。
Should have said you look like Jenna. Okay, if I said that, Saint might go crash out. Wait, give me a second. Alright, I got my tteokbokki again. Bro, I'm eating tteokbokki every fucking day here because the Korean tteokbokki here just hits so much better. Like in America, if you order tteokbokki, I swear that it's just a dog shit frozen tteok that doesn't taste good at all. Here, you get like the good shit. Why is this guy sitting in a Barbie chair? Because I don't... Bro, I have so much back pain because the last 18 days I've been here, I've been sitting on this fucking plastic fuck, and it hurts so much. Anyways.
降りかかる火の粉くらいはちゃんと払えるよ。
Tomitake flexed his biceps and smiled. Okay, bro. He was probably trying to make me feel better. But all he really did was make me feel sadder. There's a sad part about being me. I know the future, but I can't tell them. It's as if that was the rule of the world. People tend not to believe what I tell them.
死ぬのです。富武と高野が死ねば、次は僕が殺されるのです。二人が死んだら誰が僕を守ってくれるのですか？
どうも相当悪い夢を見たみたいね。大丈夫よ。もし万が一私たちが死ぬようなことがあっても、山犬があなたを警護するわ。
山犬は本当に僕を守ってくれるのでしょうか？守ってくれた試しはないのです。
This shit's so cold. What the fuck? Give me a second. What the hell, man? Dog ass fucking microwave.
そんなことないわ。あなたがふっかけた喧嘩にも現れたでしょ。あなたの近辺を常に警戒してくれているわ。もちろん平時にはそこまでの警戒はしていないけれど、先日のあなたの要望以来、あなたへの警戒態勢は非常に高
Why are
度
you
な
posting
状態を維
progress
持
pics
してい
on
る
Twitter
わ。
while eating tteokbokki on stream? The same reason why with Gateo and you had beef, you linked him a picture from when you were 10 years younger instead of current you.
入江所長の警護よりも厳重なくらいよ。
I'm just saying, when people like, post pics to prove what they look like at that moment, they show current pics, not Facebook pictures from high school or early college, you know?
富武と高野が死んだ後も。
That's like me pretending like I look like anything like my young self on my Facebook.
無論よ。
Don't say got him, chat, motherfucker.
あなたの身ほど大事なものはないんだから。
Oh, fuck, man. I forgot how spicy this tteokbokki is.
僕たちは今夜殺されてしまうともう決まっているのかい？
Bob, I can mog you in 3 seconds IRL right now. Relax, bucko. Shut up. This motherfucker thinks just because he's got more weight means he can mog me. Like, relax, buddy. You gotta hit the gym a bit. All right, I saw. All right, you got the mass, but you gotta refine it a bit. You've been on the Wuthering Waves playing gacha games a little too long. All right. I did hear you've been injured for a while, so maybe that's why. But
参ったな。
you called him fat? Well, I've said this multiple times, chat. I think being fat is a buff. Because if you have fat, that means you have the mass that you could cut into muscle a lot easier than someone who's skinny, who's trying to build up mass, you know? No, chat, being fat is literally, I think, OP if you want to build up muscle, right? If you're skinny, building up muscle is so, it's literally like an uphill battle. Being fat is like, literally just fucking control how much you eat and exercise. And then you just get muscle, you know? Like, it's so easy. Being skinny is like, you have to fucking chug food because your metabolism is your biggest enemy. And then you have to, like, work out really hard. And then you, like, it's like, oh my god. After, like, 3 weeks, you're like, I gained 1 pound. Like, okay, bro. Like, that was great. Bob rationalizing how small he is. Bro, we literally saw your IRL pics with everybody. You're like a strong 5'2". I can see why you don't go to IRL events, Saint. I hypothesize, chat, we will never see Saint and Jenna at the same IRL event. Because then the height difference between Jenna and Saint will become a complex for him. Alright? He will never want that. I feel like that would be... I will say this though. I think it would be so funny if you and Jenna met in real life, Saint. It would be cinema. I would just be right there. I'd just be like, oh man. I'd like see you guys on the opposite sides of the rooms. I'd just be like, just wait for you guys to like somehow run into each other. My words must have left a mark on his heart. He looked much more serious after I said that to him. Wait, what the fuck did she say? Oh my god.
やれやれ。
Bob, I could 2v1 you guys in my sleep. I get that, you know? I get you really want 2 guys to be on top of you, Saint. This is why you constantly need to have this, like, frat boy mentality and be like, that's gay on your stream. But, like, no, man, we're not into that, okay? Come on. Relax.
せいぜい今夜気をつけるよ。沖宮へ戻るとき
Yeah,
は
how about I one up you? How about we invite Mr. Poke, huh? We get the 3-on-1? It's your dream right there. Bro, you are super homosexual. That's exactly what a frat boy who never matured outside of being in a fraternity would say at your age. Actually. Oh shit. Hang on, chat. My food's done. Alright, no more distractions. We lock in. Okay. Alright, here we go.
あらあら、焼いてるのかしら。おませさんね。
Like a thought, I can't change their fate. When we saved Satoko, everyone shared the same sense of urgency. That's why we all got together and saved her before it was too late. However, these two have no sense of urgency at all. How can I make them understand? I sighed and gave up.
高野さようなら今日までありがとうでした
What is this stream? Is this the holidays for you, bro? Bro, it's a fucking like, it's like noon in Korea, man. It's not even noon. I got the whole day ahead of me.
ちょっと待ちなよ。リ
My
カちゃん
stream schedule is great in Korea. My stream pretty much ends like 2, 3 p.m. And then I have like the entire day and night to do like whatever with family and friends. It's fucking great. Meanwhile, in like America, my stream starts at fucking like 3 p.m., which is like such a shit time to like ever get anything done in the morning to hang out with people, because most people want to hang around like noon or like 1. And then my stream ends at like 10 and 11, at that which time everybody wants to go home. It's like, all right, you know, it's like Korea time is like actually perfect. Brother, you chose the stream time? Okay, my original stream time was because I still worked the 9 to 5 back then. Right? So I wouldn't be able to start stream until 6:30 Eastern, because I'd have to get back from work and then, you know, like start stream. So yeah, it was 6:30 Eastern, but now I'm in California, it's 3:30 Pacific. Bro, that was 4 years ago? Okay, but I feel like changing my schedule now is like so weird, man. I'm like gonna stick to this like schedule forever. Instead, it might be worth talking to someone else. If I could get someone else to protect them, I might be able to change something. Oishi? I can't give up yet. Fate is as thin as a piece of paper. It's just like the lid on a jam or jar. Jar of jam. Oh, I had to write that so wrong. It's not going to open unless you believe it will. I have to believe that I can change my fate. If I don't, it's not going to change.
富武さんと高野さんがですか？それは本当ですか？
I've told Irie about this so many times in the past. Irie tends to listen to me more seriously than Tomitake and Takano do. However, that doesn't mean that he can actually do something about it.
お社様の巫女の僕が嫌な予感がするから。では、理由になりませんですか？
わかりました。そうおっしゃるなら、お社様のご神託かもしれませんね。
What?
今夜そんな事件があれば、5年目のたたりということになってしまいます。お二人には注意するよう、私からも伝えましょう。
All Irie would end up doing would be warning the two of them. Which was exactly the same thing as what I did. In other words, it wouldn't matter in the least. Irie is just a researcher and he has no ability to deal with unexpected trouble. That's why Takano works for him after all.
くれぐれもよろしくお願いしますです。ペコリ。
Who else would treat me seriously? Wait, what if she talked to Oryu and had the Sonozaki corpse like defending them? Who would be able to prevent Tomitake and Takano's death? Oh shit. Yeah, she's gonna talk to Oishi. That's right, there's one man who's been fighting the curse of Oyashiro-sama with all his might.
あれ古デさん探してたん
I
ですよ
knew it!
赤坂さんがぜひお別れの挨拶をしたいと言って
Oh, wait.
探してたんですが
つくづく赤坂とは肝心な時に縁がないのです。
先日の温泉の件をずいぶん恨まれているようですね。赤坂さんも何も恩返しができなかったことを悔やむ。長い休みが取れたら改めてひなみ沢に行きたいと言っていました。それを奥さんに勘違いされちゃったみたいで。可愛いけどあの奥さん家に帰ると怖い人なんだろうな。
大石、実は大切な話があるのですが、誰も信じてく。
ん？いかがなさいましたか？
I've spoken to him several times in the past too. He usually takes me pretty seriously. However, after they die, he starts suspecting me. That's why I stopped talking to him. Yeah, bro. Rika killed, burns Takano, and rips Tomitake's throat. True. Yep. The 9-year-old.
それをどこで聞いたんですか？どの辺で？
I told him that I heard someone talking about murdering them in the crowd. That way, he might not be suspicious of me after the murder really happens.
確かに 富武さんはよそ者だし、高野さんと合わせれば2人。1人が死んで1人が消えるか。確かに5年目のたたりとしてはあってもおかしくなさそうですね。
Hold up, he's
デ
taking
マ
the
の可能
bait?
性もありますが、わかりました。
Fuck.
ダメでもともと。お二人をマークさせましょう。
Okay.
襲うならひなみ沢と沖宮の間の道だとも言っていたように思いますです。
Tomitaka's body will be found on the road leading out of the village. From what I remember, he's discovered where the concrete road turns to gravel.
わかりました。車を1台張り付かせましょう。そのくらいの余裕はありますので。
He agreed to get involved and he wasn't suspicious of me either. I'm sure it seems odd to people that Oishi actually believed this phony sounding story of mine. Well, he believed a fucking parasite last chapter. The thing about Oishi is that he strongly believes that there's no smoke when there's no fire. I've learned from experience that he tends to believe my information. However, that personality of his has caused me so much trouble in previous worlds. Of course, there's no question why he's so eager to believe me either. This is his last chance to expose the curse of Oishi-sama before his retirement. Even if it might be fake, he still wanted to believe it. That was convenient for me since I couldn't show proof.
くまちゃん、聞こえますか聞こえますか？沖宮への帰り道の途中にパトを1台張り付かせてください。いえ、単なる警戒です。良くないことがそこら辺で起こるかもしれないという噂が入りまして。2人程度でいいでしょう。お願いいたします。
ありがとうです。誰も僕のことを信じてくれないので困っていたところなのです。
それを信じるのが警察です。
Well, can you answer who's the mastermind?
何事もなければむしろ無事を喜ぶべきじゃないですか。出動を空振りこれを喜べ。
What if Higurashi the whole time is trying to convince you that curses don't actually exist, but then we find out that the curse actually does really exist, and the curse of Oyashiro-sama is not the people dying, but it's Hanyu's curse on Rika to keep her forever stuck in this world, being a friend with her. I'm still on the Hanyu train, sort of, okay? Like, I don't see anybody else who has anything to gain with Rika dying besides Hanyu. Is that my final answer? No, but like, on top of that, realistically, chat, how does Hanyu not know a single time of how Rika dies? Like, she should have some idea.
私の先輩の言葉です。それに、せっかくのタレコミ情報を見過ごして事件を防げなかったら、これほど悔しいことはありませんからね。
I see. That's his way of thinking about things. Pick a final answer? So there's one other possibility. And it's still, I still think it's Irie. He's the one other guy that I think is a little sus. But I don't know why. But Irie, the reason why I can't fully send on Irie is because he commits suicide in multiple worlds, right? So he can't be the reason Rika dies, right? If he committed suicide. So I'm not full sent on him, but he's still a little sus. That's why he believed me without question. I hope he won't consider me a suspect after they find their bodies tomorrow. I shouldn't worry about that now. I can still do more. Who else should I talk to? Should I talk to my friends? I can't give up. I should at least try.
まさかそんな物騒なことを言ってる人がいるのかい？よりにもよってこの日に不謹慎だな。
あれか？今日起こるかもしれないって噂のお社様のたたりってやつか？
うん、連続4年起こってるからね。やっぱり今夜も起こるかもしれないと思ってる人も少なくないみたいだね。
怒ると思うのは勝手でございますけど、富武さんと高野さんを名指しするなんて失礼な話ですわね。
Maybe I didn't actually miss that much. Oh no, you missed like 2 hours.
富武さんと高野さんにも念のため伝えた方がいいんじゃないかな。もう伝えましたですが、信じてもらえなかったです。
そりゃそうだろうな。でも万が一何かあった後じゃ遅いしな。大石さんに話した方がいいんじゃないか。
もちろんもう話しましたです。
へえ、リカちゃまはなかなか手際がいいじゃないですか。でも確かに用心に越したことはないです。今夜だけは。
ひなみ沢村連続開始事件、通称お社様のたたり。はっきり言って何年も続かれちゃ困るんだよね。面白がって模倣するバカも出てくるし、何より村のイメージダウンにしかならない。
つまり今夜何も起こらなければそれで連続はついえるわけだろ。なら今夜起こらないように何かすればいいわけだ。
なんかって何ですの？悪いことが起こらないように村中で見回りでもしますの？
見回りなんかしたらかえって不用心な気がします。
You just need to follow Tomitake and Takano.
そもそも手の打ちようなんてあるんですか？
一応綿流しの準備会の方では連続開始事件を模倣しようとする変質者が紛れ込む可能性もあるので、見かけない顔には警戒しようってことになってる。
ひなみ沢はよその人の顔はわかるからね。見慣れない人がいたらすぐわかる。だからきっと大丈夫だと思うけどな。でもそれでもきっと富武と高野は殺されるのです。リカちゃん、そうだね。私たちにもできることをしてみようよ。
そうだな。一晩中を護衛はできないだろうけど、せめて祭りが終わるまでの間近くにいようぜ。人が近くにいれば悪い連中もおいそれと手出しはできねえだろ。
I couldn't tell if they really believe me or not, but they listened to me at least. We decided to keep our eyes on Tomitake and Takano and protect them for the rest of the night. I guess I've done everything I can now.
あとは明日目が覚めた時何も起こっていないかどうかね。リカは富武たちの死を防げると思っていますですか？無理かもしれない。やはりあの二人が死ぬのは私の命運が尽きること。でもさっき高野も言った。山犬が私への警護を厳重にしてくれているから。そうしてる間に東京から応援もいつものように富武たちが殺されたとしても、その後の状況、それでもダメなら潔く死ぬしかないわね。とにかく今回は最後の最後まで諦めない。あがける限りあがく。どうせ無駄だから残りの時間をワインで過ごすなんて。リカの好きなようにするといいのです。羽生は相変わらずどうせダメだと思ってる？僕はいいもダメもないです。あるがままが運命ですから。
See? This is why I feel like Hanyu is suspect. Because of course, a deity being like her can determine what's fate. Because she could just fucking cause things to happen probably, you know?
期待するからここ
And why does she doubt Rika so much? From an actress trying to get up on the stage, Hanyu is a real bystander. You have very different opinions when it comes to this.
リカ、何があってもどうか気を落とさないで。
D-Moon, stop bitching about ads. The ad setting has never fucking changed. I haven't increased it. Get better ad block, bozo.
なんだか今回もどうせダメだって遠回しに言われてるみたいね。最近あんたと話してるとイラつくことが多いわ。
There's tons of motherfuckers in this chat without subs, and they watch just fine. Why? Because they have good ad block. You just got the booty shit, man. Get a good one. I understand. Hanyu keeps telling me not to get my hopes up because she cares about me. Because I hope to defeat fate. I get hurt when that hope is betrayed. And the more I get hurt, the closer I get to losing my mind and disappearing. For Hanyu, that means losing her only friend. Losing me is probably the most unbearable thought for Hanyu since she has to live alone, unable to communicate with anyone else. I now believe that fate can be changed. Even when I didn't have that faith, I still believe that eventually I'd find a way to get out of this maze. Perhaps Hanyu knows something I don't. I might just be a goldfish inside of a fishbowl. There might be no way for me to escape my fate. We're stuck alone inside of a fishbowl, yet every day I knock on the glass believing that I can break it someday. Hanyu keeps telling me that I'm wasting my time. If I get hurt and die, she would have to survive all by herself inside the fishbowl. With that, I think I finally understand our difference in opinions. Hanyu has lived for a much longer time than I have. Because of that, she understands the laws of this infinitely spanning world better than I do. No matter how much I refute Hanyu, I can never refute the truth. Even so, I still have to believe in my own faith. I believe in a spear that will pierce the wall of fate. My faith will make that spear sharper than ever. We found Tomitake in the crowd and struck up a conversation with him to keep him around as long as we could. However, as soon as the festival ended, they tried to leave. If they left now, I'd never see them again. Mion tried insisting that they stay at her house for the night, but Tomitake refused. Everyone tried various ways to stop them from being alone because the murderer might be around. However, we eventually started to believe that they wanted to be alone for adult reasons. And I wound up suggesting that we shouldn't interrupt the two lovebirds.
大丈夫だよリカちゃん。富武のおじさまだって男だよ。いざとなれば高野さんのために獅子奮迅の活躍をしてくれるよ。
What's up, Jamalu?
そうよね。私に危機があったら二郎さんが体を張って守ってくださるのよね。
そのつもりだよ。
That doesn't sound very confident.
じゃあ私たちはもう行こう。もうだいぶ遅いよ。
ありがとうね。気を利かせてくれて。
くれぐれも誤解しないでくれよ。僕は診療所に忘れ物をしてるんだ。
What if what actually kills Tomitake and Takano is not an outside murder, it's themselves? What if they decide to shoot up some Curse of Oyashiro-sama juice into themselves? You know that syringe, the shots that Satoko needs to take to not go crazy? What if they take that and then it just like makes them lose their mind?
それで診療所の鍵は高野さんが持ってるから高野さんと一緒に診療所に行くんだよ。
へえ。富武のおじさま、ナースプレイとは奥が深いです。
Okay.
違うよシオン。きっと分娩台を使ったお医者さんごっこなんだよ。
Aren't they a little too young to be talking about something like this? Okay.
はあ、ナースプレーってなんだろう。
がっちり理解できてるならそれからミオンとシオンお前ら下ネタだけ意気投合するな。
じゃあねみんな。本当に忘れ物を取りに戻るだけだからね。ついてきちゃダメだよ。
富武、本当に用心するのですよ。理科の心配しすぎではございませんの？
Bro, I miss this stupid Satoko fucking raised eyebrow face. Everyone laughed when Satoko yawned. It seemed like a good time to call it a day. It doesn't feel like I was able to change their fate. I just hope that they pay attention and that they are prepared for whatever faces them. I still might have a chance. All I can do now is pray.
それじゃあ富武さん、またぜひその時は写真を見せてくださいね。
その罰ゲームのシャツ、ぜひ着てきてくださいね。
よっ美女との一夜 羨ましいね。ヒューヒュー。
Okay.
またねみんな。次に会うのは秋頃かな。
私たちが今夜殺されなければね。それじゃみんな、
おやすみなさい。
That was the best I could do on the night of Watanagashi. And they're dead. Please tell me what happened this night. This is like a box with a cat inside. Please tell me what happened this night. I don't even know if the cat is alive or dead inside the box. Please tell me what happened this night. The cat in the box is dead. So how does that apply here? The Schrodinger's Tomatake? Hmm.
嫌にしつこかったね。そんなに僕らに死んでほしいのかな。
夢の話とはいえ迷惑な話よね。
入江所長にリカちゃんの検査を念入りに行った方がいいと言っておいてください。夢見の悪さは何かの予兆かもしれない。リカちゃんに何かあったら大変なことになるからね。
Takano touched Tomataka's hand gently. I woke up early just to see this live? To see Higurashi? Oh, Bro's name is only here for Higurashi. Okay, well, whose fucking alt account is this? Babe, did you order something? Okay. I thought it was a creepy lady again. As he turned bright red, Takano moved in closer and spoke. The way she acts is just too sexy, Tomataki thought. Oh my
ねえ
god.
次郎さん、とても真面目な話があるの。聞いてくださる？
なんだい？高野さんまで真面目な話があるってのかい？まさか高野さんまで僕が喉をかきむしって死ぬ夢を見たなんていうのはなしだよ。
そのまさかだとしたら？
え？
Eh? Takano stared at him with a mischievous look as if seducing him, and started whispering into his ear.
驚いているのよ。あの子には本当に神通力があるのかもしれないってね。
それはどういうことだい？
Wasn't Takano this whole time? I stopped. Listen, up until this chapter, I always thought it was Takano, but just because she like had a little change of pace, I was like, wait, maybe she's fine. I fucking knew this bit. Listen, wait. So, wait, what if my theory that the body that they found on a mountain wasn't Takano? Takano smiled gently and pulled back her hair. Even seeing her do that made Tomatake's heart race.
私、あなたのことが好きよ。
それは光栄だな。
Yo, Tomataka, that's a little too close to your neck. You need to push her away. Takano's fingers curled around Tomataka's chin, stroking, tickling, and caressing it. Her movements were very captivating and seductive.
いろいろな男と付き合ってきたけれど、野心も野生味も私には合わなかった。
Oh my god, Takano's got a huge body count apparently.
あなたのような固くて真面目な人が一番相性がいいって分かったの。あなたなら私のすべてを受け止めてくれる。私のことを 本当に理解してくれるって
Oh god,
信
bro,
じられ
she's
るの。
crazy.
だからあなたにならミヨのすべてを捧げられる。私のすべてをあなたに抱き受けてもらいたいの。
That she's a murderer?
この気持ちがわかる。
高野さん、急にどうしたんだい？
Her voice didn't really sound that affectionate. Tomitaka knew from experience that he couldn't grasp what was on her mind when she wore a cold smile like that.
いよいよなの。もうじきなの。
It seemed as though she couldn't wait for something to happen. There was a chilling allure to her strange smile that made one question if something exciting was really about to
何
happen.
がもうじきなんだい？
Tomitaka asked, trying hard to resist the temptation.
私の夢が叶う日が。
君の夢？
そう、私の話したことがあったわよね。それともベッドの上で話したことは記憶に残らないのかしら？
いや、覚えてるよ。君の夢。
Tomitaka's response was vague. Either he didn't remember or he hadn't understood it very
い
well.
よいよお社様のたたりが現実のものとなる日がやってくる。その日こそが私の子供の頃からの夢が叶う日。次郎さん、聞いて。私はもうあなたと一緒にはいられないの。
え？それはどういう意味だい？
あなたと私は違う世界に住む存在なの。ここひなみ沢は人の世と鬼の世の接点だから、日の当たる世界のあなたと日の当たらない世界の私が出会えた。でももうそれが終わるの。陽光の降り注ぐ日中に訪れた束の間の月食が日の当たる世界のに私が何を言っているかわかるかしら？
高野さん、まだビールが抜けないのかい？
I think she's a demon.
酔ってるね。
お別れの夜が来たの。日の当たる世界を教えてくれてありがとう。あなたの温かさは日だまりの温かさだったわ。
She is a demon.
騙し合ったり疑い合ったりしない本当に温かい関係だった。だからあなたと別れるのがとても惜しい。
She just fucking shimpoed twice. What the hell? She teleported. She pulled herself away from Tomitaka and slowly stepped back, as if signaling the time had come for them to part.
君が何を言っているのかわからない。何の話なんだい、高野さん。
だからあなたに選んでほしい。私のそばにいることを選んで日の当たる世界のすべてを捨てる勇気を見せてほしい。あなたが私の耳元でささやいてくれたことがどれも本当だったなら、次郎さんに戸惑いはないはず。
By that time, Tomitaka understood that Takano was asking him to make an important
まさ
decision.
か君は
そのまさか次郎さん。
Tomitaka got up from his seat and looked Takano straight in the eyes. There was a faint glimmer of hostility within those eyes.
私より仕事が大事なの。やっぱり。
信じられない。君のことを信じていたのに。
Oh no, so I think the reason Rika dies is Takano. The mountain dogs probably kill her ass. Those words were ones of rejection. Takano's lips twisted into a cruel smile.
お社様は人と鬼を融和したそうだけど、そのお社様でも私とあなたを融和することはできなさそうね。
Takano slowly opened the door. 6 men in overalls were standing there at the ready. Tomitaka was frozen in shock. The 6 men walked up to Tomitake with no expressions on their faces. It was immediately obvious that they were going to do something to harm him.
これは何の真似だ。
ひなみ沢症候群は導火線に火がついた爆弾と同じ。
They're gonna hold him down and inject him with the syringe, and then he's gonna run out desperately and then start clawing at his own throat.
それが爆発する前に東京はあなたに爆弾を解体してしまうことを命じた。でもね、東京にはこの爆弾が派手に爆発して欲しがっている人もいるの。
バカな。
What? It's not Takano, it's a fucking grand conspiracy by people in Tokyo?
そんなことをして誰が何の得をするんだ。
得のないことをする人なんてこの世にはいないわ。損得があるからベクトルが生まれる。だから私を前にそれを問うことは無意味ね。
信じられない。そんなバカなことを考えている連中がいるのかい。ひなみ沢症候群はとても危険な病気であることは君も知っているはずだ。
そうよ。爆発すればとても大変なことになる。だからこそ東京も失態を隠しきれない。
君はその連中に買収されたというのか。
You still play Chaos Zero Nightmare? Yeah. I have a pretty damn good Serennial save. I'm trying to get a better Selena and a Cassia save right now.
申し訳ないわね。
I'm actually still free to play.
私とあなたは住む世界が違ったの。
それで僕をどうするつもりだ。
Well, Tomitake, you're gonna be the fuse that she's gonna light to start the fucking domino effect.
あなたの協力があれば私の仕事はとても楽になるわ。もちろんそれはあなたにとっては裏切り行為に当たる。
僕に寝返れというつもりか。
二郎さん、私に囁いてくれた愛が本当ならもちろん報酬は望みのまま。あなたが私を望むならば一生をあなたのためだけに仕えた。あなたが望むとき、あなたの望むところで
Whoa!
あなたの望むように。
Whatever, whenever, wherever? Okay, Tomitake, listen, hear me out. That's some crazy deal. What the hell?
私の体はあなただけのもの。
Yeah, bro, Tomitake is a man of fucking principles if he refuses this.
あなたの重欲を満たすためだけに独り占めをしていいのよ。私もあなたにならあなただけのしもべになってあげてもいい。ねえ、私の全身にあなたの匂いを染み付けさせたいとは思わない？
Holy moly, succubus. Her words were a kind of assault, directly hammering at the emotions men had difficulty resisting. Yeah, I would never get tempted by this, bitch. Get out of here, Takano. You're not even that hot. They were like an evil spell to control his heart. Upon hearing them, Tomitaka felt an unknown sensation rush up his spine as his feet froze in place, entranced. However, he forced himself to resist the temptation. He sealed the cracks in his wall of reason to stop Takano from forcefully entering his heart.
断る。
Oh my god. Giga Chad. Holy Tomitake Giga Chad. Man, we've been giving Tomitake a lot of shit for dying like a fucking wet noodle every time. But here he was, resisting a super sex on demand at any time. Damn, we've never heard Takano laugh. She had known from the start that Tomitake was going to refuse her. Even so, Takano let out a triumphant laugh. It's funny. She thought Tomitake would refuse right away. However, it took him a while to refuse because of how effective she was at seducing him. The time it took him to refuse her was one of victory for Takano. For Tomitake, it was a time of humiliation. Takano continued to laugh. She sounded rather like an evil witch.
そう言うと思ったわ。それでこそ私の大好きな二郎さんよ。
Ew! What the fuck is that dude? Oh my god. Oh. That's ugly as fuck. Damn.
おこのきくん、君も寝返ったのか。
失礼しますね、富武ニードの。
二郎さんも鈍いわね。
Tomitake, I hate to say it, I think Takano slept with every single mountain dog. You could say she mounted those dogs. Like, bro, they're all fucked.
山犬は初めから私の部下よ。
Ooh.
この診療所は最初から私たちが掌握している。知らないのはあなたと入江所長だけよ。
くそ。
Tomitake moved into action, sensing the danger that was about to befall him. His fist thrust out as quick as lightning, knocking one man down before he could even blink. However, the other man... Oh, man. Okay, Tomitake, wait a second. Hold on. He fucking one-punched some dude. Certainly weren't going to just stay there and watch. They all attacked him as one. He tried to strike back with an elbow, but he simply couldn't overcome the difference in numbers. Tomitake tried his best, but soon enough, the mountain dogs had wrestled him to the ground. Yo, this angle does not make Takano look pretty. She kind of looks big forehead ass ugly hag. Ugh.
離せ、離せんか。こいつ、ジタバタすんな。
They pinned him down so that he couldn't move an
さ
inch.
すがね、二郎さん。6人がかりでも手こずらせるなんて素敵よ。
Takano walked over and smiled while looking down at
ね
Tomitake.
え、二郎さん。どうせ断るんでしょうけれど、やっぱり意見を変えて、私の味方になって
Wait till you see
はくれ
Takano
な
in
い
the
のかしら。
anime.
無駄だ。君の仲間にはならない。
その一言が欲しかったの。私の未練を断ち切るためにね。
Takano was holding a small case in her hands. Oh no. She opened it and showed Tomitake what was inside.
その注射は。
This one? This one? Why? Oh, do you like that one more? Wait. What? What's in that syringe?
いやね。想像がついてるくせに。
バカ。すべて破棄したはず。
二郎さん、あなたはこう思っているでしょう。たとえ破棄した例の注射だとしても、自分は予防薬を投与済みだから注射されても免疫があるはず。そうでしょ。だから怯えてないのよね。あなたが今回ひなみ沢に来た時に投与された予防薬はね、あなたは今自覚してないだろうけども、すでにレベル3クラスで感染してる立派なひなみ沢。二郎さん、注射するとき目を背ける癖があるでしょ。ダメよ。自分に何の注射がされてるか
くそー。離せや。
Tomitake struggled to get away, but he simply couldn't move. Upon seeing his sorry state, Takano laughed with glee.
H173 は二郎さんもよくご存知のはずよね。投与することで感染し、かつ興奮状態を誘発することで疑似的にレベル5を発症させる。
So that whole disease Takano was yapping about in chapter 6 was correct? Well, there's some type of syndrome, but I think it's less so a disease, it's more of a state of being in terms of like your mental state, right? Because it seems like these are just like levels of like schizophrenia, if anything, right? When you're like level 1 or 2, you're like all right. When you're level 3, like maybe you start seeing some things. When you get to level 5, right? He's level 3, I think, like Shion, because they could both hear Hanyu jumping, right? They could hear Hanyu, but they can't see her. And they're not like completely diluted. Once you get to level 5, you start like seeing shit. You start seeing things chasing you behind you, right? Like, it's like when Keiichi started noticing something following him, you know? It's like when there you go. It's like Shion, or was it? Yeah, it was Shion when she goes up to Keiichi's house to fucking kill him, right? Or stab him, saying like something's like getting to her.
どれだけ劇的な効果があったかは二郎さんもご覧になってたんじゃないかしら。被験者は盛んに頸部液化のかゆみを訴えていたわね。
Huh? Yeah. What time? Yeah. Yeah, no.
過去の症例の文献から見ると、どうもレベル5発症時にリンパ節に異常なかゆみを訴えるケースがあるみたい。抗原抗体反応の一種かもしれないわね。だから二郎さん、あなた運が良ければリカちゃんが予言した通りの死に方ができるわよ。自傷で自ら死ぬか、それとも脳を憎悪で焼かれて廃人になるか、あなたはどちらになるのかしらねえ、二郎さん。
やめろやめろ。
これじゃあお注射は難しいわね。眠らせてあげて。
Damn, the way she said "put him to sleep, please" was like, holy shit. So the things Keiichi was seeing, like the bloody Shion on the hospital, was because he was on L5 already? Yeah. Once you start seeing things that just aren't like reality, it's like when you've already lost your mind. That's why in chapter 1, everything, that's why Keiichi was so deluded. He was full L5 because he thought Rena and Mion were trying to kill him. He thought Mion put a fucking needle in his fucking rice ball. He thought, right, like the whole town was trying to kill him. Like that, he was full on fucking deluded. One of the men covered Tomitake's mouth with a towel soaked in some kind of chemical. He tried to fight it off with all his might, but his strength eventually left him and he became as quiet as a beached whale. Takano stroked his face to make sure that he couldn't resist. Then he brought the needle down toward his throat. She pushed it right into his skin. As she squeezed down on the syringe's plunger, the skin surrounding the tip of the needle swelled up and eventually the contents were absorbed into his body.
さよなら、二郎さん。次に目が覚めるときは楽しい悪夢の世界にいるのかしらね。
This is why it looked like he was beat up, right? Because when they find his body, they find that he's like was in a fight or something, and like multiple people had ganged up on him. The mountain dogs finally got off of him. He couldn't even twitch.
誰か彼を私の車のトランクに運んで。
Two of the men lifted up Tomitake and carried him outside.
そうそう、彼の愛用の自転車も一緒だときっと喜ぶでしょうね。地獄へ行っても好きなだけサイクリングができる。
Told you it was him, bro? I don't think it was... It doesn't make... Because the day that we saw Takano with something in the trunk was a rainy day. And this is not a rainy day. It's not some parallel universe shit, bro. It is! Because it's multiple worlds. What are you saying? Rika has basically told us that it's multiple iterations of the same world.
ではこれより終末作戦を開始します。
I mean, maybe it starts raining. If it starts raining, then maybe.
おこのぎは以後の連絡を待て。入江所長から目を離すな。あと、フルで理科にも注意してね。
I'm of the opinion that Takano fakes her death. Right?
どんな第六感か知らないけど、 少なくとも彼の死に方だ
She
けは当
has-
てたわ。
she's a person that has full access to a medical clinic. She has clearly government resources, right? It wouldn't be too hard for Takano to find a female body of someone who was just deceased today, right? And then plant like maybe some of her hair and stuff and burn it in a barrel. And so that there's just enough DNA remaining to maybe identify it as Takano, right? You have to remember, Chad, this is 1983. They didn't have like insane forensic technology, right? They could only go off of like little tidbits to identify, right? So if there was just enough like maybe hair left over, they could be like, oh, this got to be Takano, right? So I think we're going back to my old theory that it's actually Takano, right? And she just faked being dead, and she's not actually dead, and she and the mountain dogs actually kill Rika.
もっと研究したかったけど残念ね。
了解ですわ。こちらはお任せください。道中はお気をつけて。
気をつけるほどもない旅よ。ところで入江所長は？
祭りの後の打ち上げ中でしょう。まだ神社の敷地内にいるとのことですね。
あの研究しかできない坊やがどう取り乱すか見れないのが残念ね。
Mountain Dog started laughing again too. Takano checked the time on her watch. It was nearly 10 p.m. Most people must have left the festival for home. Those people still there were probably enjoying the after party while getting drunk inside the shrine. It was a good time for her to leave without being seen by anyone.
では私も出発するわ。死んでくるわね。
After saying that, she left the clinic alone. She left through the back door. She left amid the moonlight, the singing of insects, and the sound of a river. It was a typical night in Hinamizawa. While enjoying all these sensations, Takano got inside her car. Tomitake was sleeping inside the trunk. His bicycle, on the other hand, was loaded into her back seat. Hee, how ironic. Your bicycle has a better seat than you. I'll let you out of there soon. I shall leave him by the road that leads to Okonomiya. That'll be a good spot. Takano found a good place to drop him off, but she gave up on it as there was a police cruiser parked in the area. She figured that they were probably patrolling to make sure the 50 years curse didn't happen. Good job, officers. No one will ever suspect that there's a curse packed in my trunk right now. Takano drove onto less lit streets with rougher roads. Eventually, the mountain road ended and she was surrounded by darkness. There were rice fields nearby. She could tell by the sound of the croaking frogs. Takano parked her car by the pitch-black roadside. She had to stop here, otherwise she'd be too close to a residential area. Indeed, she was nearly in Okonomiya. She would have dumped him earlier, but the police cruiser had foiled that plan. Takano pulled Tomitake out of the trunk and left him by the road. She also left him his bicycle. Tomitake let out a small groan. It probably wouldn't be long until he woke
さ
up.
よなら、次郎さん。あなたのギクシャクした恋の語りも楽しかったわ。もっと聞かせてもらいたかったから。もうじきあなたは目を覚ますわ。その頃にはあなたはレベル5の末期を迎えてる。あなたは錯乱の挙句きっと哀れな死に方をするでしょうね。氏脇病が語るように、やはりあなたもそれを観察できないのがとても残念。そしてあなたの異常な死と私の失踪はこの地に5年目のたたりとして刻まれるでしょう。そうしてお社様のたたりはますます強固なものとなって残る。その礎となれるなんて。次郎さん、これはとても名誉なことなのよ。あなたはこれから命ある身を捨てて永遠の
That was her last farewell to Tomitake. So did she actually kill herself? Takano got back inside her car and started driving. She could see the place she left Tomitake in her rear view, but it was already shrouded in darkness. Takano drove through the main street of Okonomiya and made a few turns heading for the dark mountains in the distance. It had been a while since she left Hinamizawa. It was almost midnight. She might have already made it to a neighboring prefecture. It was difficult to tell because she couldn't really see anything in the darkness. Takano stopped her car in the middle of all that. After turning off both engine and headlights, there really was nothing but darkness surrounding her. It was as if time itself had stopped. Takano wasn't sure how long she waited, but eventually she saw the headlights of a car blinking twice. She blinked her own headlights back at it. Soon she saw several people walking towards her. Two men wearing blue overalls knocked on the window of Takano's car. Obligingly, she opened it. They looked over her face and the paperwork they had in their hands. After confirming her identification, they called someone over the radio.
本部どうぞ、ヒナを確保。尾行ないか。
尾行はなし。後方400メートルクリア。
尾行はありません。お疲れ様でした。どうぞ指揮者へ。書類をお預かりします。
書類カバンはトランクの中よ。これが鍵。あとコーヒーがもらいたいわね。入れてくださる？
The command vehicle was a trailer with a bunch of high-tech communication equipment inside. The light of electric equipment shone beautifully in the dark.
さあ、コーヒーです。どうぞ。
Major? Another man in blue overalls offered her a paper cup.
ありがとう。私の死体の方は大丈夫？
現地にて移送終了との連絡が。
I knew it! I knew it! The fake body! Bro, I said this like so many chapters ago. Oh my god, old me was right. Old me was on the fucking mark. Holy moly. Apologize to Hanyu? Whatever, bro. Listen. Fucking ow, bro.
現地？岐阜の山中でドラム缶で焼け死になのかしら。
死因までは確認させます。
Operation Doomsday. That was the name of their mission. The goal of the operation's first stage was Takano's escape from Hinamizawa and extraction of 18 specific classified documents. That goal had been completed. Assassinating the liaison from Tokyo, Tomitake, was also one of the goals. That one had also been completed in the way Takano had planned. He was not killed that way just because Takano wanted to see it. It was intentionally planned that way so that the office in Tokyo would be suspicious of the Idiot Institute. They were trying to create the story that the Institute was upset with the recent budget cuts and the cancellation of their study. Tomitake's mysterious death would be a suitable way to persuade people. Tomitake was not the only one who was expected to die. Takano was expected to do so as well. However, Takano didn't really need to die herself. They had acquired a substitute body for her, so she didn't have to actually die. Takano had no idea how they got the body. According to what she heard, a team in Gifu took care of everything. Once Tomitake and Takano were dead, Tokyo would definitely grow suspicious of the Idiot Institute. The main purpose of this mission was to make the Institute look reckless.
申し訳ありません、笹。現地の工作班で問題が発生したようです。
問題？どうしたのかしら？
偽装死体の選別にミスがあったそうです。死後24時間経過していたとか。
Yep, there it is.
あら、するとどういうことになるのかしら？つまり、サンサは昨日すでに亡くなられていたことになってしまいます。
Takano's body was supposed to be selected from the corpses of people who had died the same day. The plan was to then burn the body and make identification of the corpse more difficult. Oh my god, I mean, I might have just written Higurashi, you know? They'd found a suitable body for the plan. However, they just found out that it had been dead for over a day. That would create a hole in their plans.
現地の方で現在収集に当たっていますので。
いいわ。
You never understood why the body was one day before? Yeah, I didn't, but I was under the assumption still that it was just that was evidence enough that it wasn't Takano herself, that it was another person, right? It was a corpse that was swapped.
その死体を私ということにしなさい。
は、しかしそれでは。
ひなみ沢を滅びに導くお社様の使いが実は前日それは実に面白いわね。
Takano laughed with satisfaction for a while. The other people in the vehicle could understand why Takano was laughing so much. Takano continued to laugh as if it was the funniest thing she'd ever heard.
構わない。岐阜にはそれを私にしろと伝えなさい。そのくらいのほつれがあった方が面白いわ。
よろしいのですか？万が一ということも。
万が一なんてないわ。だって高野美代は現に今日渡名がたとえ検視の結果死後24時間以上経っていると出たっておめでたい連中は検視
Takano almost seemed to be enjoying the risk.
了解。 現場へその旨連絡します。
それより、私の死体はドラム缶の中で焼かれていたの？
はい。高速道路近くの山中でドラム缶の中で焼けていたのを発見されたそうです。
Takada seemed surprised to hear that from him. Then she started laughing strangely again. Nobody could figure out why she was laughing like that.
なるほど。お社様の生まれ変わりは伊達じゃないということなのね。あの子にはやはり人知の及ばない何かがあるということを認めなければならない。南沢の山犬に R の監視体制を厳重にするように連絡を。
了解。
失礼します。沖宮警察が富武の遺体を発見したとの無線を傍受しました。
発見したわね。いよいよ始まるわよ。
Oh my god, bro, her laugh's evil.
おいさん、先生が到着してます。
ああ、どうもどうも。どうですか、入江の先生。
Oishi entered the area enclosed by a blue tarp. In there, people from the forensics were taking pictures of the dead body from various angles. Irie was squatting down next to the dead body of Jiro Tomitake. When he stood up, he was white as a sheet.
信じられません。
そりゃ私だって信じ、初見で見た限り、仏は喉をかきむしっています。それも自分の手でです。こいつはまっとうな死に方じゃない。
Yeah, but doesn't this mean that this forensic department is just dog shit? Like, wouldn't they be able to see a very blatant syringe mark on Tomitake's neck? Oh, I guess they can't because he ripped it out. Fuck. Damn, what a convenient fucking... So fucking convenient that he ripped out the one place that could show proof. Damn.
十中八九、何らかのヤバめな薬物でしょう。
彼は何らかの薬物の常習者だったということでしょうか。
さあね。そいつを調べるのはどうやら我々の仕事になりそうです。
大石さん、この角材は
多分仏が振り回したんじゃないかと思います。で、途中で捨てて喉をかくのが楽しくなっちゃったんじゃないかと。
角材を何のために振り回したんでしょう。
自衛のためと考えるのが一番自然だと思います。仏の体に外傷がいくつかあるのに気づいてます？
ええ、打撲傷を思わせる跡がいくつか散見できます。
ってことは、一番考えられるストーリーは、仏が祭り終了後、沖宮へ帰る途中、ここで何者かに襲われた。それで取り押さえられて怪しげな注射とかそういうのをされて、その結果錯乱させられて死に至らしめられた。
Hey,
喉をかき
Presley,
むしる
they
よ
were
う
to
に誘導できる薬物
43.
聞いたことがありません。
私もそっちは専門じゃありませんが、まあその辺はうちの鑑識のじい様が調べてくれ。
おいさん、失礼します。ここから数百メートルのところに富武二郎のもの。
おお、そうですか。何か手がかりとかは？
いえ、今鑑識が行ってます。
じゃあつまりその自転車があった場所、それで戦ったり逃げたりしてここまで来た。
Oishi frowned, crossing his arms in front of his chest. Irie was looking at the miserable corpse of Tomitake, and he kept saying the same thing.
ありえない。絶対にありえない。
Irie knew right away that Tomitake's death was caused by the terminal symptoms of the Hinazawa syndrome. He hadn't swung the 2x4 at a real person, but probably some kind of hallucination due to the L5 symptoms. Violent reactions to hallucinations is one of the clearest characteristics of terminal stage. However, Tomitake supposedly took a vaccine before he came to the village. There was no way he could reach L5 symptoms in such a short period of time. Irie didn't want to believe it, but it was obvious that someone intentionally injected him with the pathogen. The pathogen must have been strong enough to give him L5 symptoms immediately. The only drug that could do that is H173, a chemical weapon that induces an acute onset of symptoms. It makes people hallucinate, which inevitably leads to a horrible death. It's the absolute worst kind of demon. However, they had destroyed all of it due to its dangerous nature. All that was left were helpful chemicals such as vaccines and treatment drugs. Tomitake was their liaison from Tokyo. Whoever killed him must have full knowledge about him and the drug. How would that person know he was their liaison? It was then that idiot thought of Takano. Takano is also watched off from Tokyo. She's something like a superintendent. It was quite possible that something bad happened to her too.
そうだ。高野さんはどうなったんです？
え？ああ、お宅の看護師さんの。
多分富武さんと一緒だったと思うんです。高野さんは無事なんですか？
先生、彼女の電話番号はわかります？
もちろんです。
熊ちゃん、入江の先生に電話番号を聞いて署から在宅確認を取らせてください。
了解っす。先生、番号を。
はい。よろしい
My
ですか？
guy got the phone number, repeated it to make sure he got it right, and dashed out to the out of the blue tent.
先生、高野さんと仏は確か親しい仲でしたよね。
ええ。
何かトラブルがあったとか、そういうのは聞いたことがあります？
まさか。聞いたことないです。仲のいい二人でした。
Tomitake and Takano weren't just in a close relationship. They were co-workers sent from Tokyo. They had access to information that even Irie didn't. There's no way there was trouble between them.
何事もなけりゃいいんですがね。下手すりゃ仏か、それとも星か。なるほど。看護師なら怪しげな薬物を取り扱えてもおかしくはないですよね。
そんな薬品はうちの診療所にはありませんし、あったとしても厳重に保管されています。高野さんに持ち出せるわけがない。
それでも一般人よりは容易でしょ。
ですからそもそもそんな薬物は聞いたことがないし、当診療所にも存在しません。
Irie made clumsy excuses while he tried to piece together what was going on. However, Irie had no means of knowing the state of affairs in Tokyo, and he couldn't reach any further conclusions. So this is why he commits suicide. Either the pressures of this, or Irie actually finds out the truth. So it's easy to, yeah, he could find out the truth, and then Takano could basically have him forced into taking his own life. So it was easy to laugh at him, or he could have been killed and then made it look like it's suicide, as though he's a frog trapped in a well.
大石さん、留守のようです。署の待機組の方で直接訪問すると言ってます。
先生、すみませんが、高野じゃ。それプラス県警に今夜出た身元不明の女性死体がないか確認を取ってください。あるいは課長に近県にも同様に身元不明の女性死体が出てないか確認を取るよう伝えてください。
了解っす。
沖宮警察が現地の県警本部への接触を開始。サンサ、よろしいのですね。
ええ、構わないわ。そのままで行きなさい。どうせすぐに週末よ。誰かが一人くらい死亡時刻を疑ったって、誰かが耳を貸す前に全てが滅ぶ。
So you think the gas explosion is all planned too then? Maybe everything is planned. And this is all like maybe payback to Hinamizawa by like the government for the dam conflict, maybe? Day after Watanagashi, Oishi showed up at her school. It isn't uncommon for Oishi to show up here today. Interestingly, he always asks to see the most key person in that world. He asks for Keiichi in the world where he gets sick. He asks for Rena in the world where she gets sick. In this world, he asks for me.
富武が死にましたか？
ええ、ちょっと尋常じゃない死に方でしてね。薬物か何かで錯乱状態で自分で自分の喉をかき破るというショッキングな亡くなり方でした。
やはり抗えないのか。
There's nothing I can do now. I knew this was going to happen. I'm sure Takano is dead
高
too.
野は
彼女についても岐阜の山中で焼死体で発見されました。死体の状況から多分考察された後に焼かれたんじゃないかと思っているのですが、どちらにせよ気の毒な話です。
大石の考えは分かっても僕が何か知っていると思っているんでしょう。
いやいや、まさか疑うとしたらこの一点、あの人混みの中で小耳に挟めるようなところでこんな物騒な話をする人がいるわけがない。
True.
僕が何かの陰謀の片棒を担いでると思っていますですか。
と思い込みたいところですが、それも引っ込めました。本当にその気ならあなたは私にあんな入れ知恵をすることはなかったんですからね。少なくとも今回の事件を起こそうと考えた何者かとは相対する位置にいると思ってます。
The issue is, Rika's had this many lives. She never thought for once that she just followed Tomitake and Takano. Like, fuck their quote-unquote possible lovemaking. Like, just follow them to see where the fuck they might be going. And find out, like, what actually goes down. Like, she's had hundreds of deaths. She didn't once fucking think maybe it might be smart to try one time, you know?
それが本当ならとても嬉しいのです。
Or she threw a 10 yen coin into the offering box and shook the bell in prayer.
どうか今年こそ平見沢村連続開始事件を終わらせられますように。
She'd be killed by mountain dogs, dum-dum? Well, if she gets killed by mountain dogs, then I think that already is proof enough that, there's something going on here. Because that would be the first time she would be dying way before the post-Watanagashi mid-June death. Like, she would be dying, like, basically way, way, way accelerated. And that would be like a weird, like, like, oddball death.
そのために僕に協力しろと。
They didn't follow them because adult stuff in the upcoming days. Maybe she tries to find out and how she dies from behind and she never knew who killed her. But it doesn't really matter, right? Like, aren't you at least inquisitive to figure out what kills Tomitake and Takano? After all your loops, if you think this is the impending doom bell, right, that caused eventually dominoes to your own death, why wouldn't you want to find out what kills them?
今のはお社様にお願いしたんですよ。
She will not remember. No, she just doesn't remember how she dies. She remembers everything else. Oishi is well aware that people call me the reincarnation of Oishiro-sama. That must be his attempt at a joke.
僕もこんなたたりはもう金輪際にしてほしいと思っていますです。
おや、ならフルデさんと私の求めるところは一致するようですね。
Why not send Hanyu? Oh my god. Like, actually, even better question. Why doesn't she just be like, Hanyu, can you just follow Takano and Tomitake just one night? Like, God forbid. Oh my god.
僕は昨日
She's literally
富武の死体
Casper
が
the
見つかり
ghost
そうな
that
ところ
nobody
を
can
予言
see.
しましたです。
Oh lord.
そこにパトカーはいなかったのですか。
いいえ、ちゃんと巫女様の予言に従って配置しました。ほら、細道路と砂利道の通称村境とか、あそこら辺はとても何かヤバいことの起こりそうな匂いが一番。
では富武の死体はどこで。
配置場所よりももっとずっと沖宮寄りの水田地帯の路肩です。
That's not where his body is usually found. If he was fated to hallucinate and die, he would die in the exact same spot, whether the cruiser was there or not. Just because the cruiser was placed there, Tomitake's body was found in a totally different spot. In other words, the existence of the police cruiser disrupted that fate.
でですね、ここからがちょいと面白い話になります。パトにはですね、私通る車もチェック。そしたら 高野の車が祭りの終わった後、沖宮方向へ通過したんですよ。
Takano lives in Okinomiya. It wouldn't be strange for her to head back home after the
た
festival.
だ、乗ってたのは一人だったんです。富武は乗っていない。
富武はひなみ沢にはいつも自転車
なら自転車をトランクに積んで車に乗せてもらう。ですが富武は一緒じゃなかった。にもかかわらず富武の死体はひなみ沢からパトを越えて沖宮
Wait,
の方
Oishi's
水田地
cooking?
帯で見つかる。
つまり
あの真っ暗な中、森の中を突き進んでパトを迂回したなんてできる。だとしたらパトに気づかれずに街道を抜けるしか考えられない。これでさん、高野と仏の関係について教えていただけませんか？
恋人同士、それしか知らないです。
高野がね、恋人との最後の夜の仰せを一人で帰るというのが腑に落ちないんです。富武はその時トランクの中に詰められていて、あの真っ暗な森の中に捨てようとした。
Oh, he's on! Please, Rika. Lock in.
だがお告げのパトカーがたまたまそこにいちゃったもんで、もっと先で富武を捨てた。
Both Tomitaka and Takano were sent here from Tokyo. I have no idea what their real identities are. I can't say that Takano had no reason to kill Tomitake. However, I've never considered that possibility before in my life. Yeah, apparently you spent hundreds of fucking lives and never sent fucking Hanyu to check them out either. Like, god fucking damn it, bro. Takano killing Tomitake? But why? I can't think of any reason. Nothing comes to mind, and it's hard to imagine Takano was cornered to the point she had to kill him. In fact, it was more plausible to think she was enraged when the lovesick Tomitake acted cold towards her, and she strangled his neck.
私はあのカップルどことなくこう言っちゃ富武君に失礼ですが、
Wow.
高野が富武を何かに利用しようとして近づいていたとか、そういう。
ないです。でも話は何か分かったら大石にも知らせますです。
Ask Irie! Bro, Irie needs to just fucking come out and say what the fuck their purpose was.
ありがとうございます。村の内部に詳しい方、それも御三家の当主でお社様の生まれ変わりの協力がいただければ鬼に金棒ですよ。
But even the reincarnation of Oishiro-sama could have solved this mystery for over 100 years? Yeah, because you're a bum! Like, you didn't think once to fucking use Hanyu's ability of a ghost to fucking, like, check stuff out.
でもその高野も殺されたのですよ。どういうことなのですか？
私はもしあなたからタレコ、多分きっと富武と高野は共に義手ですが、こうなってくるとどうやらこいつはお社様のたたりの5年目ってことにしようとした巧妙な事件のように見えてきました。
つまり高野が犯人。
You literally needed every POV to solve the mystery? That's not true. What? I already believed it was Takano faking the fucking death and got. I already said this multiple chapters ago, bro. This was like back in chapter like fucking 3, man. Like, come on. Basically, this is what Oishi is trying to say. They're not both victims. The culprit is also pretending to be a victim. This is really hard for me to believe. I can't think of any reason why Takano would do something like this. Oh, I can't really think of the reason the lady that's crazy about the curse of Oyashiro-sama would possibly want to perpetuate it. Rika, can we use our fucking 9-year-old noggin? Like, at this point, you can't even get away with the excuse of being 9 years old. You're like fucking 300 and something. Like, bro, there's no shot. Come on. She's not just 9? She's not 9. She's like 300 and something years old, bro. Come on. For another thing, how can he explain that Takano's body was found? Didn't the police in Gifu Prefecture identify the body?
焼死体の識別には歯型照合が最も有効だと言われています。
Hey, not Jaded, thank you for the 5.
ただ うちの鑑識のじじいが言うには、まあそれよりおかしいのが当初
死亡時刻が合わない。
ねえ、祭りの前夜にはもう殺されてたって内容物とかそういうのから調べるらしい。ですがこの時点で岐阜さんには高野の話をしちゃってた。だから岐阜さん、綿流しの日に死亡時刻の鑑定なんかより死体のまあ現場にはたまにですが、高野が犯人かもしれ。
死体をごまかすことなんて可能なのですか？
焼死体の鑑定は基本的に歯型以外は絶望的です。例えばこれは推理小説的な荒技ですが、沖宮のデンタルクリニックに残されていた高野美代の歯
True,
型
they
の
could.
鑑定、
She's got government support.
これが巧妙な手口で捏造されていたら誤認もあり得る。まあそんなのは抜きにして、単純に岐阜さんが警察組織内では往々にして初動時の鑑定ミスが後々まで多い伝説的な冤罪事件のほとんどはこれに起因します。私はどうやらその可能性が拭えない気がする。
つまり高野は生きてる。
高野美代は先日以来車ごと行方不明です。岐阜の死体が高野でないなら、これはなんだか面白そうな話になって。
EDA? EDA had already heard about the death of Tomitaka and Takano. It seemed like both the clinic and the office in Tokyo had flown into a panic over it. It's funny how they make such a big fuss about their own people when they don't care about what happens to other people's lives if it would get in the way of their research. Takano's subordinate Okonogi was in the room. Okonogi is the leader of the mountain dogs. I came here to make sure he's still willing to protect me. Based on past experience, they tend to lose interest and protect me after Takano dies.
高野が死んでしまいましたですが、僕は大丈夫なのですか？
大丈夫ですよ、リカさん。我々が今後も厳重に警護してますんで。ですから、警察に頼ろうとしなくても問題ないです。
I guess it's part of that tight security. They must have been listening to my conversation with Oishi.
大石に聞きました。高野が実は死んでいないというのは本当ですか？
Oh my god, Rika, stop talking! Oh.
まさか。現地の県警の正式な発表ですんで。大石という刑事は今年で定年。お社様のたたりを何とか解決したい一心で、何でも話をおかしくしようとする癖がありよります。あいつの言うことに耳を貸さん方がいいでしょう。
Well, he's not wrong. This year is Oishi's last chance. Because he's so desperate, he's developed a bad habit of listening to every rumor he
で
hears.
は、おこのぎはこの事件をどう見ていますですか？
Can we stop talking to the ugliest motherfucker in the game?
現在、上が調査してますんで。
Like, this guy somehow makes Tepe look okay.
殺された二人の関係を知る以上、内部犯行の可能性が極めて高いっちゅんは間違いないんじゃないかと。
I glanced over at Irie as I listened to Okonogi speak. It seemed that whoever he was talking to over the phone was accusing him of killing them. Irie was frantically trying to prove his innocence. Oh boy. Well, I think Irie might actually have committed suicide, chat. Soon enough, he hung up on the phone. Irie looked upset that he was under suspicion after working so hard for the organization.
ああ、リカさん、すみませんね。だいぶ
入江も大変なことになったようなのです。
お聞きになった通りです。富武さんたちの死は何かの陰謀による可能性が非常に高いです。そして東京はその黒幕が私であると思っているようです。まったくどうしてそういう方向になるのか大いに疑問です。
I rarely ever saw Irie get so emotional. He must be feeling as though all his effort is being repaid with injustice. However, it's a fact that Irie was trying to fight against the budget cuts and downsizing of his research team. Tokyo is taking that could be his motive for killing them. In any case, everyone in the organization is suspicious.
リカさんの心配は分かってます。高野さんたちを殺した何者かが次にあなたを狙わないとは限らないですからね。東京もそこは特に気にしていました。
山犬にもあなたの警護体制を最高にするよう命令が来ています。ご安心してください。
それが聞ければ僕は少し安心なのです。
This was the first time the Mountain Dogs had ever tightened up my security. They usually become so busy keeping tabs on Idiot after Tomitake and Takano's death that they end up ignoring me. Even though they're dead, I'm still in a pretty favorable situation. Rika, you're fucking clueless.
高野たちを殺した犯人に心当たりはないのですか？
東京の皆さんも調べられています。状況を見る限り内部事情に精通した人間の仕業です。どうやら真っ先に疑われたのは私のようです。
富武にああいう死に方をさせられるのは入江だけなのです。
そんなことはありません。おそらく東京の方も H17 さんの話をしているのでしょうが、あれは危険な目的での研究が中止された時全て破棄されたはずです。あんなことは不可能だ。
ですが所長、こういうことが起こってしまった以上、それに富武氏には予防薬があらかじめ与えられていたはずにもかかわらず発症したんです。
天文学的低確率で起こった偶然だとしか言え、とにかく絶対そんなことはありえないんです。
It is usually a very calm person, but once the people in Tokyo start suspecting him, he often loses his mind.
高野が犯人。高野なら内部の人間です。
高野さんがまさか。
Rika, you keep yapping. Takano's gonna have you killed ahead of schedule here. But as he spoke, Ide also started to realize that everything could be explained if Takano was the culprit. But I don't know how to persuade him that it's the truth. More than anything, people want to hear a motive. Not who did something, but why. Knowing that probably isn't as important as it sounds. After all, you never know the motive unless the suspect talks. Guessing about the motive is just a waste of time. In other words, it's stupid to assume that Takano isn't the culprit just because I don't know what her motive is.
リカさん、確証もないことを言っちゃいけませんね。あれだけ親切にしてくれたんじゃないんですか？それを疑っちゃ悪いですね。
On hearing me be ungrateful towards his boss, Okanogi flashed me an unpleasant smile. It's true that Takano is very nice to me. It might be disrespectful of me to suspect her. However, I still can't trust her completely yet. Perhaps I have developed the same bad habits as Oishi. Am I believing every crazy theory I hear just because I'm desperate to escape from my fate?
とにかく私たち用心するに越したことはないでしょう。
ご心配なく、所長に対する警護体制も最高にするよう命令を受けておりますね。
Okanogi, you've said that 3 times in the past, 5 minutes of dialogue. Are you an NPC? Irie smiled bitterly. For him, their protection wouldn't be too different from stalking.
リカさんも警察には不用意なことを喋らないようにお願いします。分かってると思いますが、場合によっては機密保持のため、厄介なことになるかもしれませんので。
Rika, I think you should talk to Oishi. He was implying that he'd have to kill anyone I talked to. This isn't the first time they warned me about this. It's just, what if Takano really is the culprit? If she is, then Okanogi is almost certainly involved too. Then it makes sense that he wouldn't want me to suspect Takano. But that would be horrifying. If Takano was my enemy, then the Mountain Dogs were too. This whole clinic is a lion's den. Idia is just a researcher, so he probably wouldn't know what's really going on. Finally, Rika's starting to know. The more I thought about it, the more confused I got. Why would Takano do something like this? I thought I'd just convince myself that the motive shouldn't even matter, but I can't stop thinking about it. Is Takano really behind it all? Am I going as crazy as Oishi just because of how badly I want to solve this mystery? Perhaps. The Mountain Dogs are more like wolves looking for after a flock of sheep. I've lived for over 100 years. I never once found out who killed me, and I stayed close to the Idia Institute so they'd protect me. What if that was my big mistake? Well. Yes! Are we gonna have a Mountain Dogs versus Sonozaki Yakuza? Oh my god. Okay. Rika just relies on a Mion to protect her with the Sonozakis, and then the mountain dogs can't fucking get her. I'm sure that, because Rika doesn't know about the gas explosion, chat. She has never lived to experience the gas explosion. She doesn't know about it, right? So, I mean, I feel like she just... So, well, I mean, I'm sure that idiot has no bad intentions. In many lives, I got to see just how genuine his feelings are. I can't trust him, however, he's not really reliable. Okanogi glanced over at me. He smiled and told me not to worry, but I noticed an evil glint in his eyes. It's possible that I have Hinamizawa syndrome, and that was just a hallucination. I don't understand anything. I don't even know who my enemies are anymore. There's no point in thinking about this any longer. I have to only trust who I know I can trust for sure. There are only a few of those people around. Irie, Oishi, and my friends. If Okanogi is on Takano's side, he will be watching me very closely. If I started accusing Takano of anything, who knows what they'd do to me. When this world first began, I thought I had no time left. But that wasn't true. The number of things that happened in just 2 weeks was immense. I probably only have a few more days left until the day of my death. What can I do? How can I change this? Am I supposed to just take Hanyu's advice and resign this time? Just ask the Sonozakis, bro. They've got an army. Wait, what if it's called a massacre chapter because Takano gets exposed and then she and the mountain dogs come down from the fucking hills with machine guns and mow down everybody in Hinamizawa? Just like, well, the cat's out of the bag. It just fucking kills everybody.
それで、渡流しの晩にはもう失踪していたらしいんだよ。
お社様のたたりかな。
さすがに5年も連続すると薄気味悪いよな。
Hinamizawa is a small village. Rumors spread fast here. Besides, she's Mion Sonozaki. She would have found out about this yesterday even if the police were trying to hide it. So why are we not relying on Mion? Please? My friends were all talking about the mysterious deaths of Tomitake and the disappearance of Takano. People in this village are very superstitious. No matter what happens, they conclude that everything is the curse of Oshiro-sama. Past incidents don't matter to me either way. All I'm interested in is this current one. The culprit of this case will probably kill me too. 2 days have passed since Watanagashi. Today is Tuesday, June 21st, 1983. At the earliest, I'll get killed on the night of the 22nd. That is tomorrow night. The day of my death is always different. I always end up getting killed, but the day when it happens varies. I guess the culprit has their own reasons for that. Yeah, it's because Takano fucking had indigestion on one of the days, so she had to delay it. There's only one thing I'm sure about. Based on my experiences, I'll live for sure until tomorrow night. After then, I'll have to live with the fear of getting murdered at any moment. Still, there's no real reason to be afraid. When I wake up, I'll be in a brand new world again. I can never remember how I'm killed. That's why I'm not that afraid of killing itself. I'm just frustrated that my life is about to repeat the same thing over and over like a broken record. However, at present, I'm frustrated. My classmates just expect that their peaceful days will continue forever. But I couldn't feel that way. I feel frustrated and full of sorrow, as I really don't want to die.
明日の夜ですが、リカは悔いがありませんでした。
Oh, shut up, you bum. You fucking walk around, like, watching other people gardening their fucking flowers, but you can't follow Tomitake and Takano one time in the fucking night of Watanagashi? God fucking forbid, Hanyu.
バカ。
Thank you. Call her stupid.
ないわけないでしょ。
Hanyu was trying to warn me that I might get killed tomorrow night. As though she already knew it was going to happen for sure.
リカはとてもよく頑張りました。そして今年の綿流しは僕が生きてきた中でも一番の楽しいお祭りでした。それはリカもだったのではないですか？
It was fun. It really was fun. You know what? The only explanation as to why Hanyu never checked out on Takano, they're working together. Takano and Hanyu, somehow Takano got to L6 and she could actually see Hanyu and communicate with her. Yep. There it is. Why else? I mean, Hanyu's the only other person who would benefit from this. Rika forever stuck in her fucking loop, you know? I want this world to continue forever. I can't accept that this world is going to end tomorrow at the earliest, and within 1 or 2 weeks at the latest.
また次の世界でもきっと楽しくできますのですよ。
Shut your bitch ass up, Hanyu.
この世界はもう終わりなの。こんなにも楽しい世界なのに。もう
All my friends are alive and happy. Keiichi doesn't feel alone, and Ren is happy. Family is happy too. Mion and Shion are getting along, as well as Shion and Satoko. The issue of Satoko's uncle is resolved, and she's no longer treated coldly by the other villagers. This is the best world I've ever experienced, but this world is going to end.
リカ、僕たちは特別な存在なのに、リカは自分のことを楽しいパーティーがいつまでも続けばいいのにと。でもいつかパーティーはお開きになりますのです。だから子供たちは楽しい瞬間をどうか永遠に続いてほしいと願うのです。でもだからといって終わったパーティーを嘆くことはない。眠ればまた明日の朝になる。そしてまたいろいろと楽しいことが起こるのです。パーティーが終われば消えてしまう私の生への固執を。今のリカはパーティーから帰りたくないと泣いて椅子にしがみつく子供と同じなのです。どうして泣いたり悲しんだりする必要が。またパーティーはやってきます。リカは死を越すことを未だに忌み嫌っているけれど、僕たちにとっては一眠りのまたぎだというのに。羽生は昭和58年の6月より先に何があるのか。
Nope, she don't care.
見たくないといえばでもそれに固執して裏切られ傷ついてゆくリカの方が心配なのです。リカには分かってない。気の遠くなるほどの長い時間を誰とも会話することができず、楽しい祭りもじっと眺めているだけ。子供たちの遊ぶ輪を横で眺めていることしかできない悲しさなんてわからない。誰にも私の姿が、誰にも私の声が届かないし、そんな辛さや悲しさがリカに想像つきますのですか。その中でやっと出会えたリカなのです。僕はリカがいなかったら、でもリカのように死ねもし、僕は時の果てまで一人ぼっちで生きていかなくてはならない。新しいあなたが現れるまでずっと膝を抱いて一人で過ごしていかなくてはならない。
Have you tried outside of Japan, Hanyu? Maybe someone in America can see you.
僕はそんなのは嫌なのです。絶対に嫌なのです。羽生。
Hanyu, have you checked out Chris Angel Mind?
だからリカ、あの悲しい約束を取り消してほしいのです。この世界でも運命に打ち勝てなかったら、もう全てを諦めるというあの約束を取り消してほしいのです。羽生、ごめん。もう少しだけその返事を待たせて。
I want to do what I can until the end. When that happens, I can decide what to do. If I think there's still hope, I can go on living. But if I feel desperate enough, I can just give up. It might not ultimately be a bad thing to repeat June of 1983 over and over. Perhaps I might be blessed with another fortune in life someday. Hanyu nodded with a little satisfaction after hearing that, sensing that my feelings were starting to lean the way she wanted them. Oh gosh, she's getting complacent.
どうしたよ、レナ。リカちゃんをお持ち帰りする算段でもしてるのか。
ねえ、ケイチ、リカちゃんに元気がないと。
どうだろうな。奉納演舞の疲れが抜けないんじゃないのか。
Rika-chan was sitting all by herself wearing a sad expression. I'd said she might still be tired from the festival, but that wasn't really how it looked.
さとこちゃんが解放されてなんだか昨日から悩み事でもあるんじゃないかな。
てっぺいの件は完全に決着したはずだろ。リカちゃんが悩むような問題は何もないはずだぜ。
We thought Satoko and Rika-chan might not be able to live together if they found a new guardian for Satoko. But that problem is almost solved. Either the Sonzaki family or the Kimiyoshi family will become her guardian. Mayor Kimiyoshi is already Rika's guardian. If the Sonzaki family gets custody, Satoko will officially become Shion's little sister. Anyway, I had no idea why Rika-chan was acting so
こういう
upset.
時は声をかけてみるのが
Can
一番
Rika
じゃね
just
えのか。
say, that she predicted Takano and Tomitake would die, and now she predicts her own death, and now like all the friends will come together and make sure it doesn't happen. You know, boom.
それがかえってデリカシーがない時もあるし。でも、ケイチ君。
それはつまり、俺にデリカシーがないっていう意味だな。
Rena laughed and stuck her tongue out at me. I walked up to Rika-chan and struck up a conversation. Perhaps something is still troubling Satoko, and we just don't know about it. If that's the case, we need to help her.
元気なさそうだな。何か悩んでるのか？
ケイチ。
Rika-chan had been daydreaming, and it took her a while to realize that I was talking to her.
僕が悩んでるように見えましたですか？
まあな。どうしたんだよ。何かあったのか？
It took her a while to answer. Such a long silence had to mean yes.
ケイチ、聞いてもらいたい詩がありますです。誰が作った詩かはそして聞いたら感想を聞かせてほしいです。
いいぜ。どんなのだよ。
Rika-chan closed her eyes and recited a short poem. It went something like this. Everyone has the right to be happy, yet it's so hard to receive. Everyone has the right to be happy, yet it's so hard to fulfill. I have the right to be happy, yet it's so hard to compromise.
結構難しい詩だな。それはリカちゃんが作ったのか？って聞くのはなしなんだったな。
なしです。ケイチはこの詩を聞いてどんな感想を持ちましたですか？
Everyone has the right to be happy. It is so hard to receive. Understand that. Everyone does have the right to be happy. But that doesn't mean that everyone can receive that happiness. Everyone has the right to be happy, yet it's so hard to fulfill. This one is a little harder to understand, but exercising that right probably refers to the process of finding happiness. Everyone has the right to work hard for their happiness. But it's not that easy for that work to bear fruit. I have the right to be happy, yet it's so hard to compromise. I guess she's trying to talk about compromising your happiness. There's no limit to human desires. You can never stop wanting more. That's why people need to make compromises on their happiness. At least that's how I understand it. If she was trying to say that she should be satisfied with what we have, it sounds like a positive statement. But there's also a negative tone to the way it's presented.
この詩は多分詩を作った人の心情を表しているものだと思う。
僕もそうだと思いますです。それで感想はいかがですか？
She wouldn't admit it, but I'm sure Rika-chan is the one who made that poem, and is reflecting on how she's feeling. I'm not that smart, but even I can understand that.
悲しい歌だなって思った。
悲しいですか？
最初の2つはわかる。幸せに過ごす権利は誰にだってあるが、だからそういう厳しさを歌ったものだと思う。でも最後の1つは毛色が違う。妥協ってのは諦めるって意味だ。この詩の私は幸せになることを諦めて今を妥協して幸せだと思い込もうとしてるんだ。
幸せだと思い込もうとしている。
それも未練いっぱいにな。誰だって努力さえすればきっと幸せになれるのに、自分だけはそれが絶対届かないと分かっている。そんな諦めが漂う悲しい歌だ。
ならケイチ、この詩の私はどうすればいいんでしょうか？
くじけるな。
くじけるな。
この詩を歌ったやつは自分がどういう風になれれば幸せなのか、それは決して高望みしたものではないと思う。どうやったら幸せになれるかを延々3段も考察してるやつなんだぜ。真剣に考えてるんだ。だからここまで幸せになりたいと一途に思ってるなら絶対に諦めちゃダメだと思うぜ。リカちゃん、俺たちは絶望的な状況をほんの数日でひっくり返したんだぜ。みんなで力を合わせればきっと奇跡が起こせる。リカちゃんだってそれを目の当たりにしたはずだぜ。あるんだろ悩み。打ち明けてくれよ。
打ち明けたいことはあります。でも打ち明ければみんなはもうひなみ沢でのんびりと暮らすことはできなくなるでしょう。
はあ？
私にとっての幸せは みんなと楽しく昭和58年6月以降も。だからこそ6月をくぐり抜けるためだ。
ひなみ沢にのんびり暮らせなくなる？どうしてだよ。
打ち明けたことを知られたら奴らは必ずみんなを殺す。だから。
殺すって、まさかリカちゃん誰かに脅迫されてるのか？
Word kill is not something that most people use casually. I was shocked to hear it coming from her mouth. That's why I couldn't help but raise my voice.
誰が敵かもわからない状態です。
Oh my god, is she gonna tell Keiichi about the fucking L9?
一つわかるのは誰かが私を必ず殺すということだけです。
ごめんリカちゃん、話してくれ。一体何があったんだ？
Kept threatening her? No, that is impossible. The police arrested him, and beside that, the Sonosaki family told him to never come back to the village. There's no way he could contact Rika-chan in order to threaten her. And even if that somehow was the case, Rika-chan could just talk to Mion and everything would be taken care of. But based on her expression, it seemed like this was way deeper than that.
ごめんなさい。これ以上言えばきっと巻き込みます。圭一たちが巻き込まれれば仮に6月を超えられてもそれは私の望む世界じゃない。だから打ち明けられないのです。それが多分私が望む幸せに対し妥協しないということなのだと思いますです。
リカちゃんがさっきから何を言ってるのかさっぱりだがリカちゃんのその言い方、先日までの聡子にそっくりだぜ。
聡子に？
ああ、耐えることが美徳だと勘違いして戦うそういう風に聞こえるな。電話で聡子に戦う勇気を奮い起こせと劇を飛ばしたリカちゃんらしくもないぜ。
True. My words had clearly hurt Rika-chan's feelings. She bit her lip and went quiet for a moment.
巻き込まれれば圭一たちもきっと殺されますですよ。
Keiichi's died in a bunch of worlds, it's fine.
殺されるのはごめんだな。でもよ、放っておけばリカちゃんは必ず殺されるんだろ。だったら俺もリカちゃんのいない未来なんてごめんだな。リカちゃんが俺たちを巻き込みたくないって思うように俺たちもリカちゃんを失いたくないって思ってる。荒事は大歓迎だぜ。それに3人集まれば文殊の知恵って言うだろ。部活メンバーみんなで相談し合えば必ず妙案が出るぜ。
いくら部活メンバーでも無理なものは無理だと思いますです。
俺たちを巻き込みたくないから打ち明けられないんだな。ならリカちゃんは俺たちに打ち明けず一人で死のうってことなんだな。
そういうことだと思いますです。
耐えることを美徳だと勘違いするな。戦う勇気を思い出すんだ。心の整理がついたらいつでも何時でもいいから、そう俺たちは絶対に力になるからな。
ありがとうです。
Keiichi had more of a development than Rika in 500 years. True. Rika-chan was wearing a sorrowful smile. I could tell that she appreciated my sympathy. I don't know why, but Rika-chan is troubled by something. It's a matter of life and death for her. She can't even talk to us about it. At the very least, she won't talk to me.
どうだった圭一君？
リカちゃんが悩み事だって？珍しいね。
さとこ、変なことを聞いてすまんが、リカちゃんが
は？何を言ってるんですの圭一さんは。
リカちゃまは村のシンボルじゃないですか。拝む人はいても命を狙う人なんているわけないです。
But maybe killing the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama would be the greatest way to fucking cause a mass hysteria.
なんだい
Especially amongst the old people.
物騒な話だね。
The more I talked to my friends, the stranger it seemed that someone would try to kill Rika-chan. Everyone was even more confused than I
リ
felt.
カちゃんは悩みを打ち明けてくれたわけじゃない。でも何かに悩んでるのは間違いなく、それはかなり深刻らしいんだ。リカちゃんが俺たちを信頼してくれるならきっと近いうちに打ち明けてくれると思う。 その時はどんな突拍子もない話であってもヒットだぜ。
You guys think? You guys think Satoshi got taken away by Takano's agency? And he's not actually dead? And that after he killed his aunt, Satoshi had nowhere to go, but was planning to escape. But Takano and the agency found it as a perfect opportunity to make it seem 100% like the continuation of Oishiro-sama's curse, because they needed someone to disappear. So by making the aunt die and then Satoshi disappear, it would have been perfectly for year 4 and then year 5. Damn, it is so unfair how much more, like, how much hotter Shion is than Mion. They're supposed to be twins, man. There's a clear... Okay, like, here they look exactly the same, but, like... okay, this model, too, they look exactly the same. It's just the fucking, the remake models that Shion just gets, like, a buff. Well, 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 chat. I guess this chapter still has a while to go. Let's check out this tip, and then we gotta wrap up because I gotta start packing. Yeah, today can't be. Oh wait, do we see this? Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched, and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not the Son of Man cometh. Even God doesn't know when he will descend once more. He is constantly prepared for that day to come. Have faith in your God at all times. Your God doesn't even know when he'll see the light. Do not spare any effort. Study hard every day. Have the passion for discovery. You never know when you will be rewarded, but that day will come for sure. Until then, you must let the fires of your passion burn bright. Hifumiti. Who the fuck is Hifumiti? The Son of God promised that he would be resurrected within 3 days. Sinful men guarded his grave to make sure he would not wake up, but that was foolish of them. He meant that his spirit and his lessons would be resurrected, not his physical shell. Do not be afraid of physical death. If you achieve great things, you will live again. You will surpass death and become immortal. A demon took the Son of God to a cliff and told him to jump off. He claimed that if he was really a son of God, a miracle would help him survive. He tried to challenge the Lord. The Lord challenged humans, but humans may not challenge the Lord. To challenge is to suspect. Suspicion will speak words of evil into your ears, and it will make you falter. Do not doubt your own achievements. Do not doubt your own life. Do not doubt your contributions. Do not let others criticize your achievements. That is the same as doubting your own life. Hifumiti. Who the fuck is Hifumiti, bro? Wait, Hifumi Takano? That's her full name? I don't think it is, but if it is, it would make sense why Takano has Rika killed. Because maybe she thinks she's fucking God. Wait, yeah, it's Takano Mio. Yeah, wait. Who the fuck is Hifumi? Well, we don't know who the fuck Hifumi is, but anyways. Hifumi's the ultimate fanfic writer? Wait, really? Wait. From Dangon? All the notebook tips and the first letter are really important, especially for chapter 8. I don't remember if you did the others. I did do all the tips. Bro, it's the last one. Do it before coming to NA, mother bitch. No, I have to... There's another tip? Did I miss one? Chat, I literally read this. What do you mean? We just read this one. What are you saying? We just read this one. What do you... My son of a bitch. Alright, well, chat, that's where we gotta leave off for today. Tomorrow, remember, is our last extremely short early stream in Korea. Gotta pack up, and obviously this is an Airbnb, so I gotta clean up as well. I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow. What the fuck is this? Alright, well, we gotta turn off, we gotta turn off Twitter. Alright, see y'all tomorrow. Good night, everybody. I'm gonna try to be like 2 hours early tomorrow, just to do like a very early short stream. And then, we'll wrap up and then fly over to America. And, yeah. That'll be our Korea trip, and then we'll be back in America. Once we're back in America, chat, we should have a lot of long streams for a little bit, just to catch up on things. But we'll see. Anyways, I'll see y'all tomorrow.